Okay, Megan, you're well into the inquiry process for the second inquiry.
Yeah.
We're going to talk today about the essential components for instruction. I'd like you to tell me a little bit about your entry-level assessment and how you gathered some data about where your students were in relationship to the percents that you're working on.
So using the idea of the exit cards,
Okay.
I taught a really basic, right out of the book, take notes, same kind of thing that I started off my first inquiry with.
Okay.
And
so was this a district assessment?
No, this is just a lesson.
Oh, okay.
Just a straightforward lesson.
Okay.
And then I gave them an exit card after
Okay.
that. And the exit card was 17 questions, and it asked them to find all various percents of a number.
Okay.
As expected, most kids did not do very well at it at all, but that's okay. So
Gave
then,
you some data that you could use.
right, and I was surprised to find that a couple kids actually did rather well. They
Okay.
didn't get all the percents correct, but I was surprised to see that they were kind of pulling from different strategies we talked about in our ratios and proportions chapter
good.
before this.
Okay.
And they kind of pieced some things together. But
So they're using some prior knowledge, even
right,
though, okay.
right,
good.
they're being resourceful on
Okay.
it. But they still needed some more direct instruction, and they needed some more exposure to
Okay.
percents. So then, as I taught the 4 lessons on percents, after each lesson, I gave them a small exit card.
Okay.
And so the first one only had, I think, 5 or 6 different percents. Find 1%, find 10%, find 50% of such a number.
Okay.
And then I noticed that a lot of students, after that first one, a lot of students didn't understand how to get 1% of a number.
Okay.
So then the next day, instead of moving on, we talked a lot about how can I find 1%, how can I find 10%, how can I use the 10% value to find 1% in all of those relationships.
Okay. So you used it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you used that entry level data to help you plan some of your instruction, and then you're going to gather some more data. It sounds like you're gathering the data ongoing.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
and I'm giving them an exit card every, I don't know, 2 or 3 days after I feel like they've learned something new.
Okay. So have you thought about some of the vocabulary and things that they'll need in order to be successful with the lesson?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll need to use the 3 strategies that I've taught them.
Okay.
They'll need to know. We've talked a lot about what a percent means in terms of academic vocabulary. We've
Okay.
talked a lot about the word proportion. So
Now
they'll
I know
need to
you say
those things.
talked a lot. Tell me what you mean when you say talked a lot. Are you lecturing? Are they taking notes during this lesson series? How are they gathering that information from you?
All kinds of different things. Some of it is explicit instruction. Some of it is talk to your neighbor. I do a lot of think, pair, share.
Okay.
Some of it has been through homework. I'm
Okay.
assessing them through certain questions on their homework. So all kinds of different pieces that I'm looking at informally.
So our next steps then when we meet again, or we'll plan, or you'll identify for me some focus students, and then we'll move
Yeah.
forward with me coming to do the observation.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thanks. All right, so when you come today to the last lesson in my series, here is my seating chart.
All right.
And this is from the back of the room. This is the front, so you can actually read, because I know last time I gave it to you, I flipped it around. You had to read
I
upside
know,
down.
I was reading upside down. So this
Right.
is the front where you're going to be teaching from, and you're going to have me sit back here.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So here are 2 of my focus students.
Okay.
This is my select, the one that I just got to choose.
All right.
This was my GATE student.
Okay.
And then this is my English language learner.
Okay, perfect.
And my English language learner is seated next to a higher level student
Okay.
to help support him. And then these 2 students are next to one another again, so he can help support her. And it's been working really well so far.
Good.
So those are the kiddos that I want
Tell
you to
me a little
focus
bit
on.
about your select student. Why did you pick him to be your select student?
I picked her because she is very middle of the pack. She represents the bubble child who's
Okay.
basic
So
proficient.
not real low, but not high either.
Right,
Okay.
and so she is a really good, her assessment data is really good to look at because it falls in line with those kids that do really well with the extra whole big teaching and the extra
Engagement
exposure
pieces.
and engagement.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's my middle of the pack kind of a
Okay.
student, and so she represents that middle area.
Okay,
So
so you
that's
don't
why I
want her
chose
to get lost. She's not getting
Right.
a lot of attention because she's super bright, but she's not getting a lot of
Right.
attention because she's not really low.
Right.
Okay, so tell me about your GATE student. Is this a high achieving GATE student? Is this one that's really smart and doesn't live up to his potential?
He is very engaged, and he has lots of great ideas, and he thinks about things differently, which I
Okay.
really appreciate. And he is very quick to shout things out, and I'm working with him on raising his hand, because when he shouts it out, it kind of ruins the idea for everyone else. He figures it out faster than others.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for the lesson today, because he'll get to be challenged a little bit more appropriately, so that he's not bored. And then my English language learner needs a lot of support, and he has been coming in to get some help from me
good.
before school on percents. I think it's helped after the entire chapter. He finally really understands what a percent is,
Oh,
I
good.
hope.
Okay.
And
So he's not just doing the algorithm, he actually understands out of 100 or...
right,
Okay.
I think he does. When it's just one-on-one with him and I, it works well, but
Okay.
we'll
So
see how
can
he
you
does in group
use
setting.
your data today to decide whether he does?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how he did on the first one versus how he does today.